Alright, I just got up a little bit ago. It's around 4. My 10-hour reset isn't complete yet. I've got 10 minutes left on it, and then I'll have all my on-duty time back and all of my drive time back. And it should take me around 40 minutes to get from here to there. So my appointment's not until 6, so I should be there early a little bit. Slept like a baby pretty much. These little beds in here are comfortable, and it was cold out here through the night. I'd say it's around freezing right now. It's in the 30s. I know that here in Michigan. But I'm gonna show you this thing back here. I mean, look, I've got it turned on. I've got the heat setting turned up pretty high, but the fan's not even turned up very high. Yeah, that thing right there works great. It keeps you warm throughout the night. I mean, it's toasty in here, and I slept great. So at the rest stop for this night, go ahead and get started. This place really filled in overnight. Go over there. When I got out and put the seal on my trailer. I realized there was a lot of trucks here. It filled in a lot overnight. But yeah, I slept good in here. It's 29 degrees here in Michigan, it says so, and I slept great. So that thing keeps it warm. That HVAC system. What's it called? Let's see. There's a thing up here about it. There it is. Battery powered HVAC system. That's what it is. Be sure the batteries have had an opportunity to fully recharge since the last sleep period. So yeah, you can tell a big difference if you don't do that. Where I drove all day yesterday, I could really tell they were charged. It stayed warm all night in here. And it has air conditioner as well too, if I'm not mistaken. So it's really good. All right, here is my second week. I'm actually at home right now on the following Saturday night, or actually it'll be Sunday morning now, editing this video. And I think right there I'm heading to Minnesota, from Michigan to Minnesota. I'm not positive. It's been very hard to keep up with editing the videos where I've got so much footage, and then by the time I get done for the day, after about a 16-hour day altogether, I'm so tired. I talk to my wife and kids, and then I'm pretty much ready to go to sleep at that point. I've been going to bed usually around 8 p.m. and then getting up around 3 a.m. So I try to get an early start and get as much done as I can, get as many miles as I can. I've been sticking with my diet pretty good too. I did get me a refrigerator. I'll actually be showing that in the next video, not this one. I have so much footage right now on my phone still, and I did get me a GoPro too, so I'll be putting that to use, Lord willing, this coming Monday. And I also had an incident with an axe. Got myself in the leg very bad with an axe. Full on hard swing hit right near the middle of my shin, and I'll have a video talking about that a little bit later. I know people that are watching for trucking may not be interested in that, but I know there's some people as well who watch that have been watching my videos for a while, and I will be doing both. And me being hit with that axe ain't going to stop me in the least bit from splitting the way that I do. But one thing it will change is I will definitely be wearing chainmail leggings if I ever chop a tree again. But anyways, here I am. I dropped an empty here, and then they told me, if I'm not mistaken, it gave me on my workflow, which is kind of your instructions on your computer, and it comes to your phone too on the Roehl app. It gave me a trailer to pick up as well, and I think it's right there across from me somewhere. It might be that one directly across that says Roehl on it actually. And so I'll drop this trailer, back it in there and drop it off. This is very early in the morning here still. And then after I drop it off, I go over there and pick that one up, and then I head to the next destination. And there was quite a bit of ice on the ground here as well. Look, pay attention to the landing gear on this one and everything on this trailer, and you can just see the difference in it and the next trailer that I pick up. So when you're dropping one off, you go by LAP, which is LAP. So landing gear, which I just did, airlines right here, And then the last thing is pin when you're dropping it off. When you're picking one up, you go by the opposite. You go by PAL, which is pin, airlines, and landing gear. There's the pin right there. You're pulling out the tandem release. Or not the tandem release, the release arm. That one is a tandem release is on the tandems, but that's the release arm. And it's considered the pin as well in PAL. But anyways, I got that one dropped and everything, and now I'm hooking up to it, the next one to take to the next destination. I think this past week, right there, I'm checking the height to make sure, because you don't want the trailer before you hook up to it. And I'm speaking for people that may not know. Before you hook up to the trailer, you always need to get out before you back in under it, and make sure your fifth wheel skid plate is not going to be either too high or too low under that trailer. So you may have to adjust the trailer with the landing gear. I'm sure many people know that, but as you can see, that trailer looks so much newer. And I think the higher the number on them, the newer it is, because that's the number trailer that it is and everything. There are the locking jaws. You see how they're locked around the kingpin there? That lets you know that you're locked in the way you need to be. Because I did have an instructor before who told me that even though he heard it make a clicking sound, he got out and checked it, and the locking jaws weren't locked around it, and the pin wasn't in all the way either. So that's something I would recommend checking, because it'd be horrible to be going down the road and your trailer somehow come off on you. So, but as you can see there, the landing gear, that handle and everything looks so much newer. You can tell that trailer's so much newer. Some of these trailers are really hard to actually get moving with the landing gear. It's very, you can tell it's old and maybe just set for a long time or not been oiled, greased properly, But I'm not sure what state I'm in right here, to be honest with you. I went, Michigan and Minnesota were both new states for me. I had never been in either one of them. And in this video too here, I had an incident, the scariest incident I've had trucking yet, probably. And what happened was, I knew I was about to, I was getting lower on my time. And, I did my pre-plan and everything. I had a Walmart I was planning to stop at in Wisconsin. And, I followed my phone to where it said the Walmart was, and it brings me into this little residential town. And I look around, there's no Walmart in sight. And at that point, I'm like maybe 2 miles off the highway exit. I just got off the highway. I'm about 2 miles into this town. And I come to this light, and I can tell when I'm approaching this light that there's no way, it's telling me to go right, there's no way I can make that right turn unless I get over and borrow from the lane next to me, which is a turning lane, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it's a lane to go straight in, and the lane I was in was right. If I'm not mistaken, that's how it was. So I had to take some of that lane, quite a bit of it, and still barely, there was a light pole right on this corner. I still came probably 6 inches from hitting that pole, and there were about 4 or 5 vehicles to my left, and they all had to move so that I could, have enough room and go towards them to try to pull away from that pole. And even after all that, I barely made it. And then at this point, the Walmart wasn't around, and I had maybe 20 minutes left of drive time, or maybe it was on duty time, and I found this nursing home parking lot, and I ended up parking there for the night. And I ordered a DoorDash order, because at that point, I didn't have a refrigerator yet. This coming week, I'm planning to be pretty stocked. Got a red light there. That means they're loading the trailer, or in the trailer, either loading or unloading the trailer. That means you cannot move till you get a green light, for those that don't know. All right. They're loading me up right now. I'm here in, I'm in Michigan. I don't know what city exactly. Check and see. So I'm in Holland, Michigan. My first load yesterday was from Florence, Kentucky. So I left from my home, went to Florence, Kentucky. Then from Florence, Kentucky to Michigan, to St. John, Michigan. Yep, St. John's, Michigan. Which I didn't do until this morning. It was at 6 a.m. and they were trying to tell me they thought my appointment was tomorrow. So I don't know where that comes from. He was saying, yeah, it's unfortunate some guy's got to sit here a whole day and wait. And I was thinking, no, thank you. That ain't my problem. Now I'm going to call my fleet manager. They better get that one sorted out. But thankfully, where it was just a drop and hook, they where it was a drop and hook, they went ahead and let me drop it. I picked up it empty there, and then I traveled on here to Holland, Michigan, 109 miles from there. So from St. John's to Holland, Michigan, 109 miles. And then from here I'm going, looks like they've got me a fuel stop in here in South Beloit, Illinois, which is 248 miles away. And then from there I'm going to South St. Paul, MN. Where is that? Is that Minnesota? I'm horrible with states. I think that's Minnesota. I don't know. I'll have to look. I think that's Minnesota, MN. That'll be another new state for me. So Michigan, and then if that's Minnesota, that'll be a new one too. Or maybe that's Montana. I don't know. I have to look that up. It's MN, whatever that means. I have to look it up. I think that's 553 miles or so altogether. So that's pretty good. And that's due. That's actually not due until tomorrow. But I've got like 8 hours of drive time right now. 9.5 hours of on duty time. So I'm gonna use as much of my time as I can. I'm chasing these miles. So I'm gonna hopefully get me I'm aiming for 500 miles a day at least. Like I said, I want 2,500 a week or more, really. That's what I'm pushing for. And I don't even know exactly the amount of money that I'll get for 2,500 miles. So I'll have to figure that out. This right here is my first full work week, so this will give me a better idea, and later I'll explain that to you. To the best of my knowledge, Roehl does not pay the greatest as far as trucking companies. Like, they pay good, but not the greatest as a company driver. But now maybe once you're here for a while, after your first year, I know your pay goes up, and after 6 months, you can also become a trainer, which increases your pay quite a bit. And you can also lease to own your own truck, and become an owner-operator, which increases your pay a lot. You can do both of those things, actually. That's what my trainer did. As soon as his 6 months was up, he became a trainer. They gave him a brand new truck, a 2023, which is when he started, the year he started training. And he was a lease-to-own operator. You know, he became a lease-to-own operator as well. So there are opportunities to make really good money here. Like, he makes around $2,500 a week. To me, that's extremely good money. That is what, 25? That's $10,000 a month. So, I mean, there's a lot of responsibility in that, though. That's a life change. I wouldn't recommend that if you got a family, because it's going to take a lot of your time. You're going to be tied to that truck payment at that point, and it'd be horrible to have that truck payment and then lose it. But if you know you don't have a family, and maybe you're not wanting a family anytime soon, then something like that might be a great option for you. I would like to become an owner operator, but I know there's other routes I can take. And so I'm just going to be patient and maybe try to buy my own truck later on, not through Roehl, but maybe through somewhere else. Because I definitely prefer to be an owner-operator if I'm staying in trucking, 100%. Any of you guys that got advice on that, let me know, like as far as like buying your own truck. The lease your own truck program, it's pretty expensive. I know it is, but tell me if you think it's worth it or not. From my trainer seemed to think it was, but but like I said, I'm not wanting that much time gone from home. That's the main reason, not so much the payments. Because he's making more even after his payments. He's making probably $1,000 more per week, even after his truck payment, insurance payment, and all that stuff. But he's gone a lot too. So you all let me know if you don't mind what you think on that subject. Becoming an owner operator, the best route to do that, things like that. Give this noob some advice. Like I said, I'm being loaded now. I'm glad I've got a longer run. I like those. I love the highways, just getting out on these highways, and then on here it pops up on your co-pilot, continue for 200 and some miles. That's the kind I like. I don't like getting in these cities and, dealing with all that, but you have to. It's part of trucking. But I really enjoy getting out on those highways, seeing the scenery, and maybe listening to some music or something like that. And sometimes I put the Bible app on there where it reads it off to you. Different things. And some other channels I'll follow on there. I'll play them sometimes, listen to them. So on those long stretches of highway, and time just goes by. Before you know it, you're coming to near the end of your day or to your destination, to your delivery. But yeah, I'm still loving it. This is my second week on my own with my own truck, so I'll keep updating when I can. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. I'm getting so much footage Before I would get like a day's worth of footage, you know, and then that night I would delete it. Now I'm getting days worth of footage at a time, so it's a lot of footage to edit, and it takes quite a bit of time. But what I'll do tonight, probably, I may try to do like 2 videos a week or something, 2 or 3, maybe like every other day, or maybe 2, maybe, I don't know, something like that. I'll just see. I'd say probably around two a week, something like that. Probably what I'll do. But yeah, so far so good. I'm liking it. I'm excited to see what my first check's going to be, like my first full check, because last week I only got 3 days. This week I'll have a full 5 days, which is a full regional schedule, you know. And like I said, once I get my check through that, and I'll let you know how many miles I got and how much I made for that amount of miles and how much I'm getting paid per mile and all that stuff. And like I said, that goes up a lot after your first year. Your pay at the beginning isn't going to be significant, but it's going to be good money. So I'm very satisfied with it for sure. After talking to my trainer, and he told me what he made and everything when he first started. But anyways, I guess I'm going to get off here, let the phone charge, call my wife and kids, and wait for them to, seems like they're doing this pretty quick, loading and unloading me. So this one wasn't too hard to find the entrance to. It's not a real big place here, so it just got a little tricky to get in and out of, or at least in, if you don't know what you're doing anyways. If I would have knew where to go, it wouldn't have even been that bad when I came in. But anyways, I'll check back in later. As I was saying, though, I ended up spending the night at a nursing home parking lot, which was a really big parking lot, and there wasn't much traffic there at all by the time I got there. It was probably around 6 p.m. or so. And anyways, I got a DoorDash order from this guy who had worked at Roehl before. He delivered me some food because I didn't have a refrigerator at the time, as I said. And he was telling me that not many people worked there on that shift, and that they wouldn't, you know, he didn't think they would mind at all for me parking there for the night. So that's what I did. You know, I closed my curtains and ordered me some food, and then called my wife and kid, talked to them for a while, and then I settled in for the night there. Slept really good. The heater worked great, and it was cold that night. The next morning when I got up, it was really cold in Wisconsin, and but I slept great. And I think I got up around 3:30 the next morning because my 10-hour reset didn't completely reset until I think around 4. So you got to go by the clock. You know, you got to work. You got to learn to go with your clock and work with that as best as you can. And that's something I'm still, you know, learning to do. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll learn it. It's really going to take you getting out on your own to learn about that clock. It has me, anyways. Like I'm only week 2 is done now. I'm about to go into week 3. Monday. Today is Saturday. And so far, what I can tell is, you know, the experience you get on your own is extremely valuable because it's you're completely focused on doing it yourself, and the experience with your trainer is very valuable too. But when you get out on your own, it's a different kind of experience. It's just you take it in better. Anyways, I do. You know, it's great to get that from the trainer because they kind of give you kind of a foundation, but then you really get to build upon that foundation yourself once you get out there yourself. You know, it really sticks, or it has with me more. Anyways, I can say that. Beautiful places I got to drive through here. I'm really enjoying trucking still, loving it. It's something, like I said, I could see myself doing for the rest of my life. And as I said, I'm not sure that I will, but it's definitely something that I could see myself doing. I really enjoy driving those trucks. It's very enjoyable. And as I said, I got to go to a couple new states, Michigan and Minnesota. So that was neat to get to go to 2 more new states. That's something you got to do too a lot, is scale your loads, because you can get in a lot of trouble if you're overweight. You know, in the wrong states, you can get some really big fines and just get in trouble if you don't have your weights right. And so far, I've done pretty well with getting all my weights, you know, where they need to be. All the axles weighing under the maximum amount, the limit. I've got quite a bit more footage still to edit as well. And now that I've got that GoPro, it's going to make it so much easier. I bought this GoPro. I gave, I think, over $400 for this GoPro. $440, which I knew it was an investment and a good one, you know, because I plan to continue doing, you know, these YouTube videos. I love doing them. I love talking to you all, and I enjoy doing this. And my kids, some of my family members watch it. My kids and wife watch them. So, yeah, it's something I definitely plan to keep doing. Lord willing. And here's another rest area. I love stopping at these. They've got a lot of history in them about that particular state, and some of them you can tell they put some money into them. They're very nice. They usually all have vending machines and bathrooms, and they're good places to park for the night too, if you need to. You know, if you're close by one of them and you're getting low on your clock, they're good places to park for the night. What state am I in here? It should say somewhere. Be honest, I'm not sure what state I'm in right here. I went to so many different places, you know. I went to Ohio as well, again, which I've been to Ohio before, but it was the first time I've been to Ohio since working for Roehl, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correct. But yeah, I plan to try to stop at these pretty often. I've got one that I stopped at that will be in my next video in Kentucky, and it was telling some history, talking about how like Abraham Lincoln was born in Kentucky and everything. There's the food the DoorDash guy brought me, and it was delicious. As you can see, I'm trying to eat healthier, but he brought that to me right there in that nursing home parking lot, and I ate that night, ate good, and talked to my family, and went and laid down, slept like a baby.